Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Premier. When students in the Thames Valley District School Board returned to class this month, they were told to stop washing their hands in their classroom sink. That's because the board found that extensive hand washing created mold in 2 classroom sinks from too much water damage. In total, the TVDSB discovered that 400 sinks suffered from water damage, and a total of 13 sinks had to be removed from classrooms entirely. For almost a year, our public health experts have told us that hand washing is essential to stop the spread of COVID-19. This government categorically refuses to address the billions of school repair backlog. Why isn't this government making vital investments into our classrooms so that London students can stay safe by following this essential public health advice?
Minister of Education.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. We are obviously encouraging all students to continue to follow public health advice. The guidance by the Chief Medical Officer of Health, as provided in the school guidance document to educators, staff and families, is to obviously wash hands and sanitize often, which is why we provided PPE, as well as an additional enhancement in funding for the cleaning of schools, as well as more custodial cleaning within the schools. Within the Thames Valley District School Board, for example, COVID funding is up $43 million net new to ensure we can do that. And Speaker, obviously we'll continue to follow the medical advice of the local and Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Mackey, within your case, really ensuring that students and parents know they can play a role in combating COVID-19 in the classroom and in their communities.
The supplementary question.
Speaker, the backlog in repairs in schools has gone on under this government's watch for the last 2 years, and they've done very little to address it. London families are trying their hardest to keep their kids safe, but they need the government's support to do so. I've heard from parents in my riding like Rachel, who told me her kids returned to school to find the sinks in both my children's classrooms are missing. She told me it's extremely disappointing and frustrating that the provincial government has been telling us there are tougher health and safety measures put in place for the return to school, when in fact nothing is different, and actually things are worse since there are now no sinks. Speaker, parents in my riding want to know, when will this government stop sitting on their hands and start helping our schools move forward, not backwards, in the fight against COVID-19?
Minister of Education.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. It is this government that is investing $1.3 billion in maintenance funding to reduce the backlog we inherited from the former Liberal government. Billions of dollars, $15.5 billion. That is a matter of fact. That is very concerning that the state of our schools were undermined by the former government, the former Liberal government. But the truth is, under this Premier, we've allocated an investment, a capital investment, every single year of $550 million. In London alone, I was proud to join my colleague, the Minister of Environment, Conservation and Parks, to announce multiple net new schools in the south and northeast of London, if, as I recall correctly, new schools for the people of London who deserve it after years of neglect by the former Liberal government. We're going to continue to invest in maintenance, continue to invest historic investments in capital funding, and I assure you those dollars will reach the ground to ensure those families have confidence that their schools are safe every day.